Welcome gamers to Star Dynasties. This is episode 6 and this should be our last episode. I'm thinking what I might do, I do want to show combat, and I think what I'm just going to do is just do a combat so you can see the way it actually does work. You'll see that this is not a good idea as well. I mean, it may be, but it's sort of one of these things. Now if I go across into here, combat predictions, we now finally, like we've got reds over through here. Chance of victories are terrible in through this side, even protecting this area is terrible, but back into here we can certainly protect these, and we have a great chance for victory over through here. So what I'll do is I'll show you how this one works, and I'll probably then just sort of save scum back to this position and then not have this particular one go through, but you'll sort of see what the roll-on effect is of all the different bits and pieces. So let's just go with it. So Mesethrim is going to be the target for us. You can see it's terrible abilities back and through this side in here. So to do the attack, what we're going to do is we're going to go, in fact, if we go to combat, the combat amounts, so they've actually recently had some sort of combat. They're down to just 4 ships. They've got, in fact, it looks like 3 ships. They've only got two of the 2 bombers, 1 interceptor, and no frigates. And so we've got like 10 ships up through here, 10 ships in through here. 7, this is now building back up again. 12, 10, yeah, 7 out of 12. Actually, that's a bit weak. We've got a lot of ships at Capella, which is great. So we've got a lot actually sitting in through there, and actually a lot down here as well with this Baron. So we've got a lot of ships in our empire, and even actually they've got like a lot of ships, but they can bring a lot more in. So let's just, I'll show you like the ways of sort of doing this particular attack. Now we can do it 2 different ways. If I'm not rushing to do an attack, and I won't do it this way, but I can actually click on this area, like so I'm clicking on the actual location, go into actions, and I can just plan an attack if we do this one through here. So plan an attack on Mesethrim. I can start to build up my forces. An attack through here, you'll draw in vassals and allies to help you, and Duke Phil Stone will do the same. This requires additional action point for the attacker, so you may want to wait until you have some in reserve. You'll be able to back off in the preparation if the preparations go badly. So it's suggesting that we plan the attack. If both sides feel their full vassal fleets, and if the commanders chosen are equally matched, your probability of conquering Mesethrim is 96%. So it gives us a bit of a feel for why that was coloured green. Now, we're not at war with the stone quadrant, so that's the first thing we need to actually try to do. But we need a reason to go to war, so that's something we would actually need to do. Request or demand method, so we need that one. We also can't do that one for the reason I cannot give, because it is not bordering that faction. Yeah, so it's bordering this faction. So yeah, unfortunately, I would need to control Mika or Wasson directly for that to sort of then be the case. So we actually do have the ability, like with the, I didn't mention this before, but the vassals, we've got direct vassals for our barons. We can have up to 8. This is all counted as 1 vassal because it's all under the control of this particular duke. So it looks like we can't actually do much in here. We need to acquire a claim. So task a member of your house with this assignment. When it is complete, House Tacticus acquires a weak owning claim on Mesethrim. Let's do that one very, very quickly. Yeah, we've got one more turn for that one there. It's a bit of a shame, actually. Bit of a shame. So we leave it 1 turn. That's the other thing we could do. And then use our best guy. Get the claim here. Yeah, brother-in-law's by far the best. Actually, our wife, yeah, we can do her. Then it's going to take 4 turns. It's just I won't be able to show the combat. Ah, what a shame. Okay, I really wanted to do that actually. I really wanted to sort of show how it actually did work. Yeah, we're not going to get a chance. Even like planning an attack won't really do much here. Yeah, we need to still have a reason to go to war, and we actually don't have one. Okay, well, best laid plans. The only one I could do would be this one here. Like if I click on this one here, go to actions. Actually, even that's attack is not available. Not at war with the Hickman Union. We need to again acquire a claim, and it's just not feasible for the simple reason that we actually get on with them. It's their family. It would be too far out of the realm of possibilities for that to actually happen. So we would need to again acquire a claim. Let's just see how we go. We get a weak claim here. I'll see if I can do that next turn, even though it's not going to work out well for us. Is there anything else we can do? Let's go to actions, and we'll start to plan an attack. Our sister, yep. So let's go and use her with her effectiveness in through this side. Yep, it's going to happen over gain 50% fleet strength over 4 turns. All right, we'll see if we can actually get that one done. To be more effective, should travel to HD for this assignment. Yes. Okay, so you can plan it from there. In you go. So this is actually the Archon Heiress. So we've now got our son and our sister at HD. So I'll prepare these, and then we'll sort of get the planning sort of underway for this actual attack. So and it will happen. It'll be 50% in 4 turns, but we'll get a slight advantage over the coming turns with this one here. We do actually still have now Sylvan Tacticus, who is our daughter, I think. She's the robot daughter. So she is going to come back down to Capella, and we are going to build the repurposed warship. Let's go and build this one up. We get the +1 house size, which we don't really need at this point in time, but we do get +1 wealth. And wealth is actually really quite good. Oh, the incinerator is a good one to get as well, like cover up secrets. If we've got secrets we want to cover up, that can be really effective, just to help make it more difficult for people to find our secrets. Unfortunately, we haven't really had a lot of that sort of stuff, the skullduggery side of the game, show up in this particular run-through. It's been a fairly benign run-through in honesty. It's an incredible game when things actually really get nasty. And it's an incredible game anyway. It's just every time you play it, it's just so different. It's a lot of fun to play. I think we'll go wealth. So we'll go that way. We'll get our daughter to do that one, of course. And that one's done. All right, so we'll end our turn. We've lost interest in your daughter-in-law. Good. So that one's, we no longer have that attraction. Well, she was sort of a bit nasty with us last time, so that makes sense. House Tacticus has made a case that it is the rightful owner of HD 69830. Your brother-in-law has been pulling strings across the local region. Some listen to arguments of good governance, others listen to arguments of bloodline and history. Some had their palms greased. Not all are convinced, but enough to reduce the distaste for military action in exercising the claim. There we go. So we've now got a reason to attack. So we've only got a weak claim, but it's still a claim nonetheless. So if we have a look at this one now, so there has been a flare-up of dissent on Arid. Oh no. Yep, its nobles are more likely to rebel for a while. Okay, they may leave. Lady Helena Riddle is leading an uprising against... Oh, wow, he's got such problems. See, it's sort of funny, like, he's had incredible issues with all of his supporters. And so she has come from House Riddle of Anchor. And so she's actually a minor house of the home planet. And so there's going to be an actual fight in through this side as well, I think. And so here we go. So this is actually the Copeland sector defeated the fleet of House Riddle of Anchor in the skirmish of Anchor. And so she brought 4 ships. She brought 4 ships to a fight with 20 bombers, 23. And so what have we got there? About 70 odd ships. 75 ships, 65 ships here, 65 ships there. Never ever going to happen. He didn't lose a single ship there. So that was just complete ridiculousness from her part. Why would she do it? That's just absolute craziness. Rebellion failed. He regained control up through there. That gives him even more honour. That makes him sort of standing much, much higher. An outbreak of rattle lung has spread on Caphadema. This is actually the one place that can be a problem. So we can either coordinate help but risk spreading the virus, or we put it under quarantine to contain the virus. Now, if we put it under quarantine, it adds the rattle lung quarantine trait. Now, we saw that up through here at Alnair earlier in the game. Otherwise, we do risk it sort of going all over the place. So it really changes the wealth. I don't want it. I'm going to quarantine it. Kafil Jama is now under quarantine, so that's now the rebellion risk is going to start to go a bit fairly high here. We're going to have to keep track of that. Oh no! Oh no, he's died. So he actually did his job there and came back and now has died of old age. Ah, oh, what a shame. That sort of also then gets rid of that connection down this way as well. So Archon Lane Copeland failed to avenge Duchess Diva Stokes' crime. Okay, so he didn't do that one. She wasn't punished in the end, which we didn't think she really would be. It made us a bit annoyed that didn't happen. I used to be close to Mistress Sylvan Tacticus, but now they're just not the same person. Your daughter's neural implant has been affecting her relationship with your son-in-law. Okay, so we haven't seen much of him. Like Bud Tacticus came from elsewhere, and he hasn't had much to do, to be honest. He's just sort of been helping out around the place, but not really all that involved in anything. Well, too bad. Too bad. It's not terrible. Yeah, negative implant. She's getting less and less happy. Yeah, that's a bit of a concern. She'll end up going crazy or something. Reinforce upper flank, ready fighter wings, engage maneuver, pincer gamma. So your daughter spends her days running battlefield simulations. The neural implants help her make tactical leaps you never would have considered before. So +3 to Mistress Sylvan Tacticus' skill in military. So organise a house-wide tournament, see if anyone can beat your daughter at her war games, or set aside a month to train your house members in strategy. Your daughter will instruct them. So, or House Tacticus doesn't have time for games. We've always got time for games. We've always got time for games. So what does this one do? Okay, they all get +5 to military. Why not? Let's do that. So she can train up. She's still not fantastic at military. 44 is not bad. It's not bad, to be honest. Anyway, let's just do it. So Dr. Danica Tacticus has got +5. We've got +5, and the Archon Consort. So not that many, really. All right, here we go. Next one. We've got a few. Now we've still got the So Ellery Tacticus. So she is not going to be all that happy. She should be miserable at this point in time. If we have a look at this, and we can see through here happiness, the events. She's because her husband has died. That's a -50 essentially. She's apart from him as well, and the empathy. Everyone's a bit sad actually. So when we have a look at that one, there is actually sadness across the board. She'll be sad, because he was much loved in our empire, and he was of course the father of the Archon down through this side. So sadness all round. A lot of tears, unfortunately. So now if we have a look at this one, how are we going? We're at +12.5 in fleet strength. Look, what I might do is we can now press this claim. So we can see there's a minor event. Duchess Diva Stokes levied a fine on Baron Yale Briggs. Actually, he would most likely actually flip if we put pressure on him. If we actually sort of came across and spoke to him, he's probably going to, his opinion is high. Improving relations, he would possibly flip across. But let's just go across to the actual location here. Now we have attack. Why is it still invalid? It's not at war with the Stokes Collective. Yes, we need to go to war here. Should be able to press this claim. Oh, here we go. It's down in here. This is the one. So political. So we can demand that Archon Lane Copeland press. That's actually the claim. Now, if we do this one here, it's not going to tell us yet. The master, if this demand is not accepted, you will declare war. And so this is how we then declare war. We're putting it back to the Archon to put pressure down to actually release this to us because of our rights. We also then have demand that Duchess Diva Stokes respect our claim to be master of HD and transfer ownership of the system. So we can either do it one way or another. This one is actually justified. So we can threaten to go to war. So we've got 4 against that one. We're pressing a weaker claim, so we only get 1 sort of coming back the other way with the moral consequences. Justice for the succession of the Stokes Collective from the Ballard Quadrant. So this of the secession. So that one sort of, we've got a bit of a justification in through there, and justice for the annexation of Altdorf. So the fact that she was never punished for seceding and also annexing Altdorf Bay over here has actually now, because it's complicated, The Ballards in through here used to be the overlords of these guys. They seceded from them, and they also took Altdorf in through this side. So there's ongoing animosity, which is now, we've now inherited that animosity, which does make us declaring war against her justifiable. So let's just go and do that one, and we'll finish off this series with this one, even though it's not a good idea. So because there's, like, if we have a look at the combat, yeah, it's a terrible idea. terrible idea. We don't have any political stuff over here, I don't think. There's no politics. No, no, we'd need a claim. We need this claim to do this. So actions. Demand that she release it. Now, if we do it this way here, this is just going to be a poor act all the way round. We're championing a valid claim. We get +4 there, but this one here, it actually all evens itself out. So, and this has punished Duchess Diva Stokes for her crimes, ensure that justice is done and evildoers are punished. So that's actually the justification for it. Great. I love this game the way it does this. It's just sort of like story within the story within the story within the story type stuff. It just happens all over the place. So we're demanding that they release this to us. Now, they will come willingly. They like us. She won't want that to happen. And because we can't really attack it, it's going to be a problem. So let's just go and act on this one. So an event is in progress, so we have to complete this before we do any other action. So you've demanded that Duchess Diva Stokes press our claim to be master of HD 69830. If this is not met, you will declare war. I'm hoping that she doesn't do this. You will no longer be responsible for avenging the crime. So we'd still have that. Judd Ballard is still actually wanting us to press this particular thing because Duke Copeland didn't do anything about it. So this is actually, this is on top of everything else. Click on OK. So refuse your demand to claim to be master, okay, and that means you've declared war on the Stokes Collective. So we've declared war on this one, but not the grander league. This is sort of like a minor combat now. She's actually angry with this, so war has been declared. Okay, so we'll just click on OK through there. And so this is going to be a problem, but let's just go through now and sort of figure out what to do. I've still got 9 in through here. I can press the attack. Now we've got, you can expand your empire by pressing or championing. Yep, we've got that claim in through there. So there's a few more things. We can support a larger house. Yep, we need to get a diplomacy, which we don't, which we're not doing diplomacy at the moment. And we've got a few figures that can be married. All right, he's miserable as well, actually. That's interesting. Why is he miserable? I should have waited. Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, everyone's miserable from losing the diplomat. Okay, so what do they have? Duchess Diva Stokes levied a fine. Yeah, so he should be happy to join us. We should have actually played this a different way. But anyway, let's just go through. So this is where the battle is going to be. We're going to go to actions. I can actually also go and right-click on this and bring it up this way to actually get the act. So we've still got 9 points in through this side. Let's just go and do this one. So we'll do an attack. So who will command House Tacticus's fleet? Now, the best one probably is still going to be, what's his name again? Admiral Sidney Valencia, who came to us. Now, he's 50 years old. He's got all these different tactics, like push, tactical abandon policy, and fight at the front. But our sister also has push, so the same one there, relentless push. So plus 40 to damage dealt by frigates, and plus 20% of damage taken by counterattacks, and overwhelming blitz. So this is using. Oh wow, that's actually really cool. The push is plus 20% damage dealt by frigates and 10% to damage taken by, so dealt by and then taken by as well. So it makes it a little bit hard. Tactical abandon policy. Yeah, we don't need that. I think we put our sister in front here. Although we don't have, like, we have a, she's only got plus 39%, but she's got some incredible skill sets here. Overwhelming blitz, plus 40% damage, but he's got a clear 11% over her in so many different factors here. The house, the fleets, and then the recovery. And then we've got our daughter now as well, but she doesn't have any actual skills that she can actually add to it. It's very, very interesting the way the game actually does work. Yeah, I think he is the best one, even though I would love these. Absolutely love them. Actually, fight at the front. Yeah, this is plus 15% chance commander dies, plus 20% of damage dealt, and plus 10% to damage undertaken by a counterattack. I think we'll send him in. We'll send him in. So what we do is we now prepare the attack. So Admiral Sidney Valencia has been assigned as the commander of House Tacticus, the forces there. So now he has the trait of being assigned to a fleet. And so they're not available to assign to another fleet engagement for one turn from the previous one, except in the following system. So Aridid, so he can actually move around within that local system. That's okay. We'll just click on OK. And so now we've got to now set the actual game up for this particular attack. And so what I can do is I can bring in various fleets from in here. So actually some of these won't actually help us. So if they accept your request, the military force will be added to your fleet. If we think they will refuse if you ask politely. So we've got a few issues here. Now we can't, looks like we're too far away to use our fleet. So we can't use the home fleet, which is unusual, that's why it's so difficult to do this one. We've got a heap in through here. They may accept. We think they may accept. What about the others? They will accept. Okay, they'll definitely. They like us. This one may accept. What about some of the others up this way? He will accept, so he'll actually join the attack. This one here will refuse, so he won't do that for us. It's interesting how these barons can actually do this, and then we don't have control over their ships for this particular fight. So we've got to do it within a certain range. Now he's got 12 bombers, so what we really need against bombers is interceptors. So who's got a lot of interceptors? Actually, they're hardly committing anything at all to this. Well, without him, we've got nothing, but we'll still just do it anyway, so you can sort of see what does go on. So I'm going to put his ships into the attack. So we say, okay, will you please, will you, or not please, will you are attacking on our behalf. So we're going to push them. Will you request or make the demand? We are going to. Actually, we can only ask politely. Ask politely will not be accepted, so we can't do that one there. Well, that's already, we're already at 0 now. So we'll call that one. That has actually been added to the list. We can use mercenaries as well if we wanted to. We've got 42 we can spend on mercenaries. We'll bring this one in as well. They'll accept. So they're being added into the list. You can see there the list. Actually, they refused. So they cannot be asked to join our fleet. Is in range. This one here. May accept. Come on. Oh, now Archon Lane Copeland declares war on House Tacticus. Okay, this now escalates the war. And you can see through here the fleet build-up is actually, that's about as far as we can go. I can actually see if he will actually support us in the battle. Okay, will you request or make the demand? We're going to have to just ask politely. Yeah, we've got no hope at all. I'll still go ahead with it. So you can sort of see what happens. So what's happened is there's like a secret build-up that we got discovered. So we're attacking HD 69830. So first of all, Baron Hero McKee refused your request for support. Baron Carolyn Chase refused your call to arms, and that caused some issues there with her reputation. Baron Carlton's Bolton is the only one who's joined the fleet, so his ships are the only ones we have to fight with. Duchess Diva Stokes has become aware of the attack, so she learnt about the attack, and so she then added in 24 ships. So there's actually a lot of ships sort of joining in now. Baron Alton Huff refused your call to action, so that was another problem. Archon Lane Copeland joins Duchess Stokes' fleet, so he's actually now sending just a few ships in to actually help with that one. Baron Loba Rogus refused your request for support. An unknown Baron joins the Duchess as well, so there's more coming in from all over the place. And I can keep on trying these. Now, why didn't he join us? Judd Ballard. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, no. I think this is now we're now at crunch time. So actually, I should have brought him in straight away because he's got a lot of ships that he could have actually given us. So I can't even get any of these. So this is now the actual battle itself. So really, this would not be a good idea. But what will happen here is that when we have a look at this one, you've got the fleet strength in through this side. You can see there 9.7, 10.7 and 13.8. And it then just goes through the sum of everything that they've actually got. And then we've got our lowly fleet through here. Let's just continue on with it so you can sort of see what does go on. So we'll launch the attack. Now, it goes through, so you've launched your attack back in through this side. It probably won't last very long. So this is the way that combat is then sort of played out. So we've got a very, very small fleet in through this side. We've got Mikhail Bolton is sort of there with his ships, and they're the only ships we're really sort of actually using. So the attacker tactics that we actually have is we've got like attack, retreat, deal no damage this round, retreat at the end of the round. So we basically just try to sort of hold on. So that's one thing we can do to try to sort of extract ourselves from the fight. And we play round after round after round. Like if we had more that we can do, it would be good. But this is the only fleet that's actually in the battle itself. So it's sort of basically us against Duchess Diva Stokes. The Archon has joined in her with her fleet. She's got Admiral Redford Stokes who's actually commanding her fleet in through here. Now, she's got a much, much less military score than Admiral Sidney Valencia. He's got a 99. She's only got like a 40. Yeah, 40 in through there. So we can do these, but then we actually have the special abilities. So we have a plus 20% to damage dealt by frigates. We've got 2. They've got 30. Tactical abandon policy. So plus 5% to damage dealt. This is if we retreat. So plus 20% recovery rate at the end of combat. And it counters a direct attack. Now, they don't have any special attacks. She's not skillful enough to have these sorts of things at her disposal. If this was a closer fight, it would actually be quite interesting. So we've got a few different things, a couple of fight at the fronts, etc. In reality, we wouldn't be fighting this, but let's just do a push, I think. Let's just do that one there. So round 1 starting, pick tactics of the attacker. So we do that. So we're using push. So we're doing plus 20% damage in through this side. And then we basically roll, the attacker's effectiveness roll was 40. So, and the defender's effectiveness roll was 37. So the attacker damage dealt. We did actually deal a little bit of damage. So we sort of punched above our weight, but they did much, much more damage and, of course, destroyed our fleet. So combat finished. Defender House Stokes wins. So it didn't go to future rounds. It just was here. So it's a very simple game mechanic, the way that the combat is actually fought in the game, but it's still actually it works well. It doesn't get in your way. There's no graphics really about it. It's very simplistic, but it is a fun, it just works. You still get a feel for what's going on. So combat finished. Defender House Stokes wins, so that's okay. Bang, gone. And as expected, the Stokes Collective defeated the fleet of House Tacticus, so there was basically 100% chance they were always going to win that. There was no way we could win that. And Admiral Redford Stokes got some honour from the victory, so that's basically what sort of happened in that particular attack. So we click on OK. You failed to conquer HD 69830, and that then gives them all a bit of happiness and makes us even sort of worse in the actual game itself. So if we have a look at ourselves, we're probably going to then have, like, the happiness is going to be right down. So failing to conquer, that has made us super unhappy. That then impacts a lot of our skill sets as well. Reputation is going backwards as well. Personality, we don't do it. That's not that one. The honour, we've lost a bit of honour through here. That honour was still tarnished from before. Anyway, so that's sort of, this is, as I say, Star Dynasties. Really cool game. And the more you sort of just delve into what's going on, in fact, this is interesting as well. Like, there's more star lanes out here. We don't know where they go. Eventually we'll find out more information, but who knows? There could be another sector out here that we just don't know about. But that was a disaster. We knew it was going to be a disaster before we sort of started, but I did want to show how combat sort of looked in the actual game, because we didn't have a chance to do that. You tend to have more than what we had in this playthrough, but it does give you a good feel, I think, for the way that the game can sort of push, and it can run away. Now, the interesting thing we're going to have through here is what's going to happen in through this side. Now, if we have a look at the actual ships, we've still got the ships in through here. Who actually fought in the battle? This one here fought in the battle. So this is the only fleet that fought with Baron Charlton Bolton's fleet, and so he's now lost his ships. He's basically lost all his ships. We've still got everyone else. So if stuff goes badly, we'll see what actually happens. Let's just end the turn and see what actually does go on, because they may attack Ariad. So Archon Concept is in love with her husband. Okay, so that's happy for them. Duke Ballard broke allegiance with House Tacticus and pledged the Ballard Quadrant to the Copeland sector. So he's actually now gone across. The pressure has been put on, and so he's thought, no, I can't deal with this. I don't want to be in the middle of this mess. And so he's now gone across, and he's taken everything with him. So they've got that back anyway after all those machinations, all that skullduggery, and we're now still back to where we were at the start. Well, I think it's appropriate. The League of House Tacticus has been disbanded. Oh no. Okay, so all right. So yeah, we're now a duke. We've gone back to being a duke again. That's going to make him even more unhappy. Things aren't good. So Duke Tip Glass wants marriage. Yeah, we'll just accept without asking anything. At this stage, I'll just quickly go through. We're out of time. But is now married. Okay, so she's now married across to here. He didn't like that because he'd been removed from a council. And yeah, feast has been held to celebrate the marriage between your sister and brother-in-law, blah blah blah. And here we are again. We're back at starting position. And our reputation is really tarnished now with all the stuff that's actually gone on. Actually, we'll just keep on going through here. You bang your staff on the stainless steel table, shaking the hall. On this most happy occasion, I would like to offer a few words. So this is actually marriages and stuff. Offer heartfelt marriage advice. There we go. That'll do. I'll just quickly race through these. But you can see the more you do play into this. Okay, they're having a baby. Had a prophetic dream. Feast in honour of the birth. Okay, largely a success. Daughter-in-law is pregnant. That's good. Your niece is pregnant. That's good. And here we are, back at the start. And we're still at war. So we've got a war in through here. Now, if I push the attack this way, I should be able to bring these in. These are close enough now to actually do an attack. So if we did plan an attack in through this side, if we just did an attack, a direct attack, for example, we can now see that we'll still put him in charge. Actually, let's put her in charge. He's now lost a little bit there. And if we're doing this one here, so the attacker, we do actually have surprise. This is something which we didn't look at before. I can now bring in, we can bring in some mercenaries, but I can start to ask people, will they come in? They may accept. Well, he's useless now. This one is a may accept. May accept. We do actually have the house fleet, so let's go and add them to the actual fleet. And so as we build up, we've got to decide when we attack. So we're only going in with 2 and 3. Yes, and this is the chance that it's going to be discovered each time. So there's every time I add someone to the list, there's a chance it's going to be discovered. And now it's been discovered. Now we've got, actually not yet. Yeah, no, it has been discovered. And so every time, they're going to have 4 turns to drag in more people. I think what we'll do is let's bring in some mercenaries. So it gets us up to there. And then they're going to just keep on bringing more and more and more people in. So let's just launch the attack. They have 4 turns to bring in other groups. And this is much, oh no, now we're behind a little bit. They're bringing in somebody with a, yeah, they've only got 33, and we've actually got 66. So we do actually have push, fight at the front, relentless push in through here as well. Let's do this one, relentless push or overwhelming blitz. Now we still have a, it's 20%. I mean, this is also a bad one for us to go with. Let's just see if we can at least last a round or so. So they defended much better than us. We've lost a lot of ships here. Okay, so now we have to go to the next round, etc. So we just go to overwhelming blitz. And we should now have everything destroyed, I think. We only rolled a 20 there. They rolled 37, so they're rolling very high. They're doing very well with their attacks. And now we've been lost again. That's it. We've basically now got all of our ships, all our fleets, except for this one down in here, have now been destroyed. So we're in a very weak position now, militarily, and they'll just now sort of start to roll through our systems. So your forces have lost the unfavourable engagement at Alnair. And we'll leave it there. So your sister salvaged what she could from the wreckage and carried out the field repairs and the ships of House Tacticus. So we got a few ships back, but really nothing much. We failed to conquer, and we're now really, like, from that one attack that we did, it's been diabolically dangerous for us. It's been terrible. So this is a big issue. It's incredible how the game will sort of switch around like this. But anyway, I'm glad that we got to do this particular episode. I will make this the last one, though. We didn't actually have to, die and have somebody else take over in this particular game. But we're in a terribly bad position now. So we've run it with this episode. We've completely run our empire into the dust in a very quick fashion in just 2 turns. So there you go. That's how quickly things can happen if you're not looking after things properly. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. Hope you did enjoy this little mini series. It's certainly fun to play, and as I say, really like the way this game actually sort of does what it does. I'll catch you all next time.